Hey guys, it's JC, and this week has been Trans Awareness Week, so I decided that I was going to draw some transgender characters that are from things that I watch, because I did ask one of my friends if he knew of any trans characters in media, and he named some characters, and I was like, I don't know who those are, so they don't mean anything to me. And I didn't think I was going to be able to draw them because they were from My Hero Academia, and I can't draw muscles to save my life. So anyway, I thought I'd make this video just to talk about these characters and such, and why it's important to have these characters in media. Because yes, first one on the left is Shep from Steven Universe Future. Well, they're non-binary and they use they, them pronouns, and you might be thinking, well, they're non-binary, not trans. Well, you're wrong, because non-binary people by definition are trans, because the definition of being transgender is identifying as a gender that is not your birth sex. And last time I checked, non-binary is not a birth sex. I mean, you can be intersex, but you can't really be assigned non-binary birth. Most people get assigned male or female. So yeah, because I had an argument with one of my mum's friends about this, and she was like, well, if you're non-binary, how are you trans? And I'm just like, I explained it to you 5 times, and if you're not going to get it by now, just Google it, because that's just how it is. But yeah, Shep didn't have many appearances in Steven Universe Future, but they were there, and it's important. Yeah, it was because them being then obviously and them I can't speak English today. Them being there and everyone just referring to them properly by their correct pronouns is great. And also that they were voiced by a non-binary person, so that's even better. Because you should probably hire people of that group to voice the character, or play the character, depending on what the thing is. Okay, moving on. The next person next to Shep is Hannah, from a short TV show called First Day. This was real people, live action, whatever. It was filmed in South Australia, I believe, so it's great. But yes, so she is a 12-year-old, I believe. She is a transgender girl, and the story follows her as she goes to a new school as a girl, because prior to that she had been living as a boy. And yeah, that follows the regular struggles of a trans girl, while also just touching on how trans people, aren't different from cis people, because they have the same growing up struggles that everyone does, drama and crushes, and I don't know. And it also is and also relate to every single transgender person, because she doesn't like swimming, so doesn't like getting in the pool. But yeah, next to, well, below Hannah, we have Birdette. And you might be thinking, that's not Birdette, that's Birdo. And what do you mean? How is Birdo trans? Well, she isn't canonically trans, but we've adopted her into being trans. Because a lot of people be like, well, Birdo isn't a girl, Birdo's a guy. But technically, in the first, I think, information on Birdette, it obviously lists her name as Birdo, and it says that he's a boy that thinks he's a girl, which is pretty, that's kinda problematic these days. But in Nintendo America, they call her a her. Meanwhile, in Nintendo Japan, they call her or him. So, yeah. So, basically, she's not canonically trans, but we've adopted her as a trans icon. Because who wouldn't want to be a pink dinosaur? Am I right? Or is that purple? I can't tell. Anyway, moving to the middle, we have Kris from Deltarune, because they are non-binary. And so are Frisk and Chara. Those two are non-binary as well, but I was only going to draw Kris because they're the most recent character, I guess. Because Frisk and Chara from Undertale and Deltarune is a more newer game. Yeah. There's Kris is non-binary, and a lot of people seem to portray them as a dude, because apparently Kris is a more masculine name, which it kind of is, but it can also be short for Christine, I guess. But also it's canonically they are non-binary and they use they them pronouns, and it's been proven in the game that you can't make any decisions about Kris. When you customize the character in the first chapter, it goes, your decisions mean nothing and destroys your thing. So yeah, you cannot decide anything about Kris, and they can be non-binary. So yeah. To the right of Kris is Natalie from Big Mouth. You might not recognize her because my style just makes her look like a regular person, honestly. I can't deal with the big foreheads in Big Mouth. They're too big. Okay, I haven't watched much of Big Mouth because it's on Netflix and I don't have Netflix. But I watched Savannah Lux watch Big Mouth. And yeah, that's how I got introduced to this character, who is like every other girl ever, which is great. Except she does have sometimes trans things, and that's kind of what her episode was about. I mean, not really being trans, but being anxious, which same. But yeah, I think most people watch Netflix and most people watch Big Mouth. I don't know. Oh no, I don't have Netflix. Then to the right, the final right, the person on the most right is Sallie Mae from Helluva Boss, because Vivzy Pop knows how to make representation and how to do it great, because all the characters there, almost like all of them, a lot of them are queer, and they're just portrayed greatly, and you can just catch yourself saying same all the time. But yeah, Sallie Mae, transgender female. Obviously, you can see that because of the way biological sex kind of works in imps, because it's she has the male imp horns, and you can see that her base color of her hair is white like male imps, so she obviously dyes it, whatever. And it's she was only on screen for 23 seconds, and yet we all love her so much because she's funny. But yeah, it's characters I did just realize that all these characters are either trans female or they're non-binary. I couldn't find any trans men in any media that I watch, because I just don't watch many things these days. Trans men, honestly, just getting snubbed all the time, I feel like if someone will comment a trans man in a thing, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that character, how did I forget him? Hopefully I'll be like that, unless I just live under a rock and I don't know many transgender men characters, because the only transgender man character that was suggested to me by my friend was the one from My Hero Academia, who I cannot draw. He is too muscly. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's overall characters like these and putting them in media is rather important into normalizing the existence of transgender people. And it or better, like, it'll help, like, cisgender people understand transgender people. It's like I had an argument with my brother about, like, minorities being in media, and he was saying that since minorities are the minority, they should just be minority characters and not major characters or something, which really confused me because I thought he really enjoyed, because he and I watched First Day together, or like the last 2 episodes, because we saw them in a hotel when we were on holiday. This was ages ago. But it's just like, the reason these characters exist is not only for trans people to see them and view them and see, oh, that's me, but it's also to make cisgender people more tolerant of trans people. Because if you see them in media and they're just treated as a regular person, you're like, oh, well, they're just a normal person, and that's how I should treat the people in my life. So if you ever meet someone who's trans, you can be like, oh, yeah, I completely respect you. And you don't even need to properly understand them. You just need to respect them, because that's just how to be a decent human being. Yeah. I hope you enjoy this video and you can see into my insights and stuff. Yeah, I hope you have a good day, or night, or evening, or whatever time it is for you and whenever you watch this video. Trans people, you rock. Cis people, if you're an ally, good job. Yeah, I hope you have a nice time, and goodbye.